In this video, I'm going to simplify as much as possible these problems from 9 until 16. Okay, so let's start with the first one. The first one is a to the power 5 times a to the power 4. So for this one, all you do is you add them two. So the answer is a to the power 9 because 5 add 4 is 9. Okay, maybe it will be better if I put it down here, but let me just add a page because I've actually run out of space. Okay, so that is number 9, and it's a to the power 5 times a to the power 4, which means you add the indices because you are multiplying. So the indices in this case is 5 add 4, which gives you 9. So your answer is a to the power 9. That's that one done. Number 10. 10 is this. B to the power 4 times b to the power minus 6. So number 10 is b to the power 4 times b to the power minus 6. So again, you're going to add the indices. Okay, so this one is 4 because the first one is 4, then the other one is minus 6, but you're adding it, so you're going to do 4 plus a minus 6, okay, which becomes 4, and a plus and a minus, that gives you a minus. Okay, so let's just revise this. So a plus and a minus will give you a minus. A minus and a plus will give you a minus again. 2 pluses will give you a plus, and 2 minuses will give you another plus. Okay, so basically when the signs are the same, you get a plus, and when they are different, you get a minus. And that's if you're multiplying them. Okay, so this is multiply. When you multiply the plus and the minus, so this one becomes 4, because the plus and minus gives a minus, becomes 4 minus 6, which basically is a minus 2. Remember that if it's 4 plus a minus 6, because that gives you a minus, a 4 minus 6 is a minus 2. But the other way to work it out is if you've got 4 minus 2 equals something you don't know, you're going to say 6 minus 4 gives you a 2, and then you take that answer and make it negative. Okay, so this one basically, because we found a minus 2, this one is b to the power minus 2. Let's look at number 11. 11 is x to the power 7 divided by x to the power 5. So number 11, x to the power 7 divided by x to the power 5. If you are dividing, when you divide, let's say when you divide, you subtract indices. Okay, so the indices in this case is the 7 and the 5. Those are the indices or the powers. So you're going to subtract them. So you're going to do 7 take away 5. For this one, that gives you 2. Okay, so that's going to be x squared. Sometimes it's written x to the power 7 with a division sign, x to the power 5. You will still get x squared. Okay, so that's number 11 done. Do we have any more? Yes, we have number 12, and it's b squared divided by b to the power minus 6. So number 12 is b squared divided by b to the power minus 6. Let me use black for this one, b squared divided by b to the power minus 6. So with this one, because you are dividing, you're going to subtract the indices. So the first index is 2, so you're going to subtract a minus 6. You can put that in brackets. Then we know that a minus and a minus gives you a plus, so that becomes 2 plus 6, which is 8. So this is going to be b to the power 8. The other thing that you know when you've got, say it was written b squared divided by b to the power minus 6. If you move the b to the power 6, because it's a denominator, because it's, in this case, it's a denominator, if you move it to become a numerator, then it becomes, the minus becomes positive, so it becomes b squared, and the division becomes times b6, which is then an addition of the indices, so you get b to the power 8, which is same as that. Okay, on to number 13. So number 13, what's number 13? It's b to the power 5 over 6. B to the power 5 over 6. I'm going to write this one here. B to the power 5 over 6 times b to the power 3 over 2. And I'm just going to copy that. In fact, I'm just going to cut it from here. And I'm going to place it here, paste it there, and move it a little bit. Okay, so b to the power 6, I'm going to write it again properly. B to the power 5 over 6 times b to the power 3 over 2. Okay, so this becomes, because we're multiplying, we're going to add these two indices, and the two indices are 5 over 6 add 3 over 2. And like we've done when adding fractions in the last in one of the videos, I'm going to multiply this by, we could do 6 and 6 and then 2 and 2. I'll show you another way we can do this. So that becomes 10 over 12 plus 18 over 12, which is 28 over 12. Now we can simplify this to become 14 over 6, which also simplifies to become 7 over 3. So that's the final answer. So that becomes b to the power 7 over 3. Okay. Now, the other way you could have done this, let's say there was another way of doing that. You have 5 over 6. 5 over 6 plus 3 over 2. Because we already have a denominator of 6, we can just multiply that by 3 to make it 6. So that becomes 3, and that becomes 3. And this becomes 5 over 6 plus 9 over 6, which is 14 over 6. Both under that, which becomes 7 over 3. So that was number 13. Let's move on to number 14. And number 14 is 6x to the power 4. And then you have a squared outside. So let's see, so this is 6x to the power 4 squared. I just put it here. So it's 6, so that's number 14, which is 6x to the power 4 squared. So you've got to be careful with this one, because the squared is squaring both the 6, this 6 here, and the x to the power 4. So if you square 6, you get 36. And then if you square x to the power 4, you get x to the power 8. So your answer is 36x to the power 8. Another way to show this is to write this out, spread it out. So 6x to the power 4 squared is the same as 6x to the power 4 times 6x to the power 4, because you're squaring them. So if you're gonna do it this way, then you're gonna multiply the digits. So that gives you 36. That's gone too far. Just need to delete this. So let's go back to that. So this becomes 36. And then x to the power 4 times x to the power 4. So you're going to add the indices. That gives you 8. So x to the power 8. Okay. Another way to do this is, instead of, so you'd square the 6. So let me just write it down. So you've got 6x to the power 4 squared. So you'd square the 6 and you get 36. And then you'd say 4 times 2 for this one, which is x to the power 8, because 4 times 2 is 8. So that's a third way of doing this, which takes us to number 15. 15 is root 25 divided by 5. Root 25 divided by 5. That's number 15. Number 15, square root of 25 divided by 5. So if you find the square root of 25, you know, square root of 25, you simplify that is 5, then you divide it by 5, so the answer is 1. So that one was quite straightforward. The answer is 1. Let's see if we can do number 16 here. Okay, number 16 is the last one, and I'm going to have to write this one down. So it's the cube root of y squared times y to the power 1/5, and I'm going to copy that. In fact, let me use this because it allows me to make it bigger. So I'm going to cut this from here, and we're going to place it here. Paste it there. Okay, make it a little bigger because I'm going to need more space. In fact, let me put a border line here. I'm going to use blue. We're going to put a border line like that because we might need that space. Right, so the first thing you do is to simplify this. Okay, and this is going to become y to the power 2/3. Okay, and I can explain that, times y to the power 1/5. Okay, let's finish this first, and I'll explain how we got from here to there. So basically, because we are multiplying, we're going to add the two indices, which means 2/3 plus 1/5. Okay, so that means multiply this by 3, multiply by 3, so that we have the same common denominator, which is 10 over 15 plus 3 over 15, which is 13 over 15. So the answer is y to the power 13 over 15. That's the answer to this one. Now, how do we get from square root of y, cube root of y squared? Okay, so let me write here cube root of y squared. So basically what you need to remember is, if you've got square root of y, it is y to the power half. And the reason it's y to the power half is because there is a 2 here, which we don't really talk about, but we know it's there for a square root. If it's a cube root, that's when we write the number 3, like here. But actually there is a 2 there. So y to the power half means taking this 2, and y just means it's y to the power 1. So the 1 goes there, and this 2 goes there. That's why it's y to the power half. So by that same token, we're going to take the y squared, then the 3 is going to come here. So that's why it's y to the power 2/3, which is what we had here. Okay, so that is, we've come to the end of, what question was that? It was question 9 to 15, simplifying as much as possible. So I should be able to see you in the next video, which is expressing or rewriting these logarithms as a single logarithm.